Hi everyone, welcome to another Heroes of the Grid Ranger team video. Today I'm going to be talking about the RPM Core Ranger team, which includes Scott, Flynn, Summer, Ziggy, and Dylan. Now, in all honesty, it has been a while since I've actually used them, so my memories of the specifics as to who exactly I was fighting isn't really all clear, but I do remember had a lot of fun playing with this Ranger team. But actually, before I get into the Ranger team dynamic, I do want to do a couple updates really fast, or clarify a couple things. First is that Scott's ability that I mentioned in his video that I wasn't entirely sure if it counted when he performed an attack or if another Ranger did. Through between the Facebook group and one of the comments in my video about Scott, which was by, hang on, I want to make sure I get this person's name right. It was My Mini Movie Magic. Between him and then me asking in the Facebook group, I was able to determine that Scott's ability does work for any ranger. And I figured it did, as I mentioned in the video. It's just worded kind of funky. It should have, and My Mini Movie Magic should have actually brought this up, and I was thinking the same thing. It should say something like before a ranger rolls dice for an attack, just to clear things up. The you may is more just saying that you can use that ability. You don't have to do it. I mean, it's still a really good effect, but losing your turn is always risky. High price to pay. But anyway, thank you for the clarifications there. And I believe that was it in terms of that. But if part of me thinks there's something else I need to clarify, but if I think of it, then I'll mention it at some point in the video. Anyway, as I was saying earlier, I did have a really fun time playing with the RPM team. They have a really good synergy. The MVP definitely is a three-way tie. When I was playing with them, it's between Flynn, Summer, and Dylan. Flynn, just his character ability lets him play a maneuver, an extra maneuver per turn. Summer's ability to generate huge amounts of energy. As I mentioned in her video, I was playing it incorrectly. I thought you could only gain up to 5 energy, but the 5 limit is spending energy. So even with that, even though I was playing at only half power pretty much with her, she still provided a huge amount of energy for the team and really came through. Dylan, his character ability of adding 5 shield to any defense card was really great, because not only did it keep my Rangers from losing cards in their deck, it also allowed him to remove cards so he could power up his other abilities, like his power weapon, Rocket Launcher, Rocket Launcher? Rocket Blaster. I don't know, I thought Rocket Launcher. Or Do or Die, stuff like that. And Rocket Launcher, I don't remember who the boss was, but I know I used Rocket Launcher to finish off the boss because I had like 3 or 4 cards removed by that point with Dylan, so he was able to finish it off at a zero cost power weapon for at least 7 dice. It's really great. Like I said, Flynn, he combos really well with himself, but anytime there's just a ranger who's just playing one card that doesn't really combo with anybody, you can do that. Then Flynn can come in and take another turn. I mean, you can only play maneuver cards, but that's where Flynn shines because he's got his weaponized morph, he's got his push the limit. And push the limit does get around his character ability because you can't play any attack cards, but you can still perform attacks with other abilities, like push the limit. Push the limit comes off of a maneuver card, so it works around that limitation of Flynn's time burst. Like I said, really the main source of power for Summer was Power Surge. This gain amount of energy equal to twice the amount of energy spent to play this card, max 5. I did use her Flash Kick a couple times to generate some additional energy. And that's what I wanted to point out is the clarification that cards that say that are kind of worded like this, gain an amount of energy equal to the number of hit results rolled during this attack. Now, my understanding is that, I mean, if somebody can correct me in the comments, you can, but I'm 99% sure on this. You only get energy if you roll one hit result on your dice. So if you roll critical hits, you don't get any additional energy for this attack, just because it would say gain for every something like, if I forget, there are cards that work with both regular hits and critical hits, but they word it pretty differently in terms of gain an amount of energy equal to the total damage result, something like that. But this card just says equal to the number of hit results rolled during that attack, and that the way it's worded that way means that you have to roll a single hit result on one of your dice. So you get critical hit, you gain no energy from this card or cards that are worded similarly. But I mean, critical hits are the least likely you're going to be able to roll, and regular hits are the most likely. So you're probably going to get at least one energy with Flare Cake, which I did. Sorry if that was a little confusing, but that's just how that works. Gained energy with her. Like I said, she was mostly an energy gainer. I didn't use her power weapon, her zip charger. I don't think, honestly, I think I may have didn't even draw a zip charger until maybe against the boss. And by that point, I was kind of low on cards, so I didn't want to, or I was a little, I think I may have used her power surge, at least one of them, before in the first boss battle, so I didn't really, and I didn't draw the second one or something like that. Either way, I don't recall using zip charger at all. Either that or just wasn't, worth using in terms of what I had on the field. Loaded Strike was great because I always had lots of energy in the pool, so I always got the extra die for the attack. Ziggy was actually, he was definitely fourth place, ironic considering he's number 4. But he was very helpful. His trickster ability worked a lot, helped along with Dylan's. If I already used Dylan's ability to add 5 shield for like really powerful attacks, I could use Trickster to maybe defend against the 3 or lower type attacks. So at most they'd only lose one. The ranger would only lose 1 card while defending. You can swap cards. Very helpful, and as was his sneak attack, just performing an additional attack with 2 dice after another ranger that uses a maneuver. It's really good. So Flynn used his weaponized morph, or like whenever I use weaponized morph for push the limit, he could just Ziggy could come in and deal an additional 2 damage to either finish off the enemy that Flynn was doing some damage to, or if he just wanted to attack maybe a foot soldier that was guarding an enemy card, like a monster or boss card. Scott, honestly, was kind of the weakest member of my team. I didn't really use him all that much. I really wanted to use his Mustang, attack sequence Mustang, but even with Summer, maybe if I had used Summer correctly, I would have felt more comfortable using attack sequence Mustang, but I didn't feel it was worth spending all the energy that I had. Even though it was a lot, I didn't think it was worth the amount of energy to lower the damage, especially since I had Dylan and Ziggy with Trickster. I'm not saying he's a bad ranger, he's just kind of I guess he kind of took some of the attacks more so than the other rangers. He would take at the attack, so I guess in that sense he contributed quite a bit. I did use his Rev the Engines. I may have used that in combination with Sneak Attack. Sorry if this one seems a little less focused than the others. Like I said, it's been a while since I've actually used the team, so I don't remember exact details and combos, like all of the combos that I used. Ziggy's Zord, I will say I didn't really get to take advantage of because I drew it. He was the last Zord I got. This was the last Zord I got, and by that time, I was kind of keeping him with the rest of the team, so when we fought the boss, we'd have everyone available. So I didn't get to use his Zord, unfortunately. On that note, actually, let me talk about the Megazord that comes with the RPM team, and that is the High Octane Megazord. Its ability says, exhaust this card at the end of any ranger turn in battle. Gain 2 energy. The rangers may take an additional turn after this one. The next time any ranger performs an attack during this battle, add 2 dice to that attack. So this is a very multifaceted Megazord. Basically one ability for each of the Zords make up its build. So gain 2 energies. I did get the high octane Megazord against the boss. Like I said, playing with 5 rangers, it's much easier to get the Megazord than playing with 4. When I'm playing with other people, I only have 4 people available, so I almost never get the Megazord. That's probably why we lose more often. But if you're playing with 5 rangers, getting the Megazord is a much easier task. But anyway, moving on to the Megazord. Yeah, so I got him about the time I got the boss. And that's usually how it works. You usually don't get the Megazord until you get to the boss round. But it was really super helpful. I gained 2 energy, which added with Summer's power surge, gave me a almost endless supply of energy. And then performing additional attack. Oh, add 2 dice. Yeah, whenever another ranger pays an attack card, add 2 dice to the attack. So honestly, now that I think about it, this Megazord is kind of a combination of the 3 rangers that form it. Next time a ranger performs an attack, add 2 dice to the attack. So let's say Flynn push the limit. He gains 2 energy. He performs an attack with 2 dice. You can add 2 more dice to this attack. So it works well with him. I mean, it works well with anybody, but I mean, gaining an additional, let's see, yeah, basically getting 4 energy with between push the limit and high octane. Well, actually, no, you wouldn't be able to use high octane after push the limit because it's at the end of the ranger turn. You'd gain the, well, you wouldn't use it on the same turn, I should say. You still gain the 2 energy. Then you'll take an additional turn. Then you could play push the limit to gain an additional 2 energy for 4 total that turn, and then rolling a 4 dice attack. So yeah, it still works. So you just have to do it in the right sequence. But that is the RPM team. And next, I am going to do. Let's see. The next Ranger team that I'm going to do. Oh well, I won't. Well, I guess I am going to do a kind of a miscellaneous Ranger team. This next one, kind of like the Kickstarter slash Shattered Grid extra Rangers, combination that I did before the RPM Ranger team. And yeah, I will spoil that the Rebel Ranger Slayer is definitely going to be in this next team. But I'm going to get some miscellaneous Rangers that also don't belong. They don't come in like any particular core set that are Rangers. Yeah, split between various expansions to where they don't have enough to fill an entire 5 Ranger team. I'm going to combine them together and just see how that team works out. I think you'll be excited to see because it's definitely going to be an interesting team. But anyway, that should be it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. In the meantime, head on over to oncearanger.com to check out the full card database, and affiliate links will be provided below, as well as on the site itself. Thank you. Bye.